The theme of the 2023 Dallas Cowboys draft has clearly been toughness in the trenches. First, on day one, they get a defensive tackle, Mozzie Smith, and then on day two, it is Luke Schoonmaker, the tight end from Michigan, and linebacker DeMarvion Overshown. And we are talking about the backbone of the offense and the defense. I am Peter Bukowski, joined by Landon McCool from Locked On Cowboys. Locked On NFL Draft coverage is presented by Ultimate Football GM. You think you can run an NFL franchise? Visit ultimate-gm.com to play the ultimate NFL GM simulation game. Start your dynasty today. And Landon, as I mentioned, this is the middle of your defense, the middle of your offense. This is where Dallas has chosen to get better in this draft. On day two, which of these two picks stands out to you more?
Well, I think the tight end pick was expected. I think it was really just about which one they preferred, and obviously not surprising they went with the one that's probably the best blocker still left on the board. But they also wanted to get some immediate pass receiving help. So Schoonmaker made some sense because I think as far as guys who are probably ready-made to come in as an NFL blocker, but maybe just needs a little bit more development as a pass receiver, Schoonmaker's your guy. I think Washington still has a little ways to go, and obviously there's something else going on there. So I think the one that really stuck out for me was the Overshown pick because, despite the fact that he's a linebacker, I think the Cowboys like him as kind of another positionless football defender. I think that he came into Texas as a very highly recruited safety. I think that they'll potentially play him a little bit there, but I've also heard a lot of rumblings that they like him as a pass rusher. He had a lot of blitzing ability, and he showed that a lot in his senior year. Obviously, the Cowboys have some history there, and so I think they're thinking about potentially trying to bulk him up a little bit, maybe play him at pass rusher a little bit. Obviously, linebacker, and I'll also just mention that Bones Fossil was in the draft room when they actually made the call. So I have a feeling that someone who I know has blocked at least one kick for Texas is going to have a huge impact for the Cowboys special teams unit coming up this next year.
Yeah, a lot of movable pieces on that Cowboys defense. Leighton Vander Esch can play a little bit of everywhere. Micah Parsons, we know he can play almost literally anywhere you want. Line him up on offense. Mike McCarthy, find a place for him there. Donovan Wilson, one of my favorite movable chess pieces on any defense. And you throw in someone like Overshown, who, as you mentioned, has that experience all over. Let's go back to Luke Schoonmaker for a second because you throw him in what is a tight end room that loses Dalton Schultz, and now you have guys like Jake Ferguson, another Big Ten tight end from last year, a 4th-round pick. So where do you see Schoonmaker's fit in this offense in terms of what he can bring this rookie season?
Well, it's funny because I actually look at this pick as more of a Dalton Schultz pick plus. I mean, these are both guys who come from pro offenses in college. Schultz was obviously at Stanford, which obviously was very heavily influenced by the Michigan head coach.
Yep.
And so both programs have produced tight ends that come into the NFL ready to block. The Cowboys already have one in Sean McEwen in their locker room. So I think that was one thing that was really key for the Cowboys, is to get somebody who they felt like could function as an inline Y in the way that Dalton Schultz did a lot of the season. And I think he has a lot of athleticism, and he has a lot of ability to separate that the PFF stats kind of show that out as well. And I think he just wasn't used very much as a pass receiver in an offense that focused on running the football a lot. So the Cowboys think that there's some upside there, especially with his athleticism. He had 97th percentile 3-cone and I think 85% or higher 40. So he has some route running upside there. We just have to see it get unlocked. And the Cowboys have a lot of trust in their tight ends coach, Lynn Dewells, who they think can develop these guys.
The Cowboys might be the sexy franchise. This not a premium position, sexy draft, but that does not mean it does not make the Cowboys better. For all Cowboys draft everything and all Cowboys everything, Locked On Cowboys is your place. Subscribe on YouTube and wherever you get podcasts, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thanks, Landon.